Hi everyone. Hi Mom. Welcome to episode 7 of Tips, Tricks, and Tools. Today I'm going to talk about different kinds of glues, and this is a request from someone to kind of talk about what they're for and, how I use them. So my go-to glue is the Aleene's Tacky Glue. I love this glue. Now, I just recently bought this bottle, and it's actually got a cap, so you can stand it upside down. And it is, somebody asked me that, it's a 5-ounce fluid bottle. So all I do is I buy this ginormous bottle at Walmart. And then I just fill it. Just keep filling this bottle. It works great for me. They do come in smaller bottles. I have one of those too. This one is a 4 ounce. It's not a lot smaller. This says it's 25% bonus. So I guess this isn't the standard size that they sell. So it's either this one or the big one. I'm not certain on that. But again, so what? I just keep filling this up. And, you can get these really cheap. Even in Canada, they're cheap. So great glue, though. It's my go-to glue. So I'll use it on anything porous, pretty much. I've also used it on embellishments, which are not porous. However, the embellishment is going on to something porous, which is paper, generally. And I find that it's got a great stick. Now, it does come in different kinds of formulations. I have this one as well, which is also Aleene's. It's a super thick. And all I've done is taken a Q-tip, and I just keep letting the end dry. So this is how it comes. It's really, really thick. See, it's not even pouring, really. So if you've got something that you want to make sure that it's going to really stick to, you can use this one. I'm not 100% sure on... I know that there's one. I just ordered it, actually, because I couldn't find it in Canada, and it's called Tack It over and over. So it never dries 100% complete. It dries with a stickiness to it. And I'll tell you why I ordered that one after we talk about the different glues that I have in my stash. Okay, I also have the Yes paste. You'll hear a lot of people talk about the Yes paste, and it's a paste. It's thick and it is water soluble, so you can, before I get onto that one, tacky glue. It is not acid free. So don't use it on a photo. Okay? It's okay if you're sticking something down and the photo's touching the top of that. That's fine. But don't actually put it on the back of a photo because it is not acid free. I never saw those in there. I don't know if this one is. I doubt it. Most of them will say, right? Oh, this one is. It's 100% acid free. So it is great for archival work. People love this one because it helps with wrinkling. It's not 100%. If people telling you it's 100%, it's not, because I have, used it plenty of times, and it does, you will get a little bit of wrinkle, but if you're really careful or not too heavy-handed with it. You can also mix it with a little bit of water to thin it out, and if you're going to do that, then use a separate container for that, and it stores great. I have one in a little container that I use. It will work on lightweight or delicate materials. It is non-toxic, water-based, no solvents, dries clear, and it is definitely easy to clean up. So I simply use this with a spatula, and it's a very good paste. Now, I've had this for years. I don't actually screw the lid on anymore because I can't get it off. But I paid $13 for this, but it's a huge tub. It is 470 mils. That's a lot. So yeah, it lasts a long time. Okay, now the other glues, I just picked this one up. This is by Beacon. It's a 3-in-1. It's an advanced craft glue. Now this has a different consistency. It's you know, like rubber cement almost. You know, when you used to make the little rubber balls with rubber cement, your fingers would kind of start to stick together. Do you ever do that? Your fingers would stick together and then you go like this and you'd go around and around and around and then you'd end up with a rubber ball on your finger. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Okay, it is crystal clear. It's acid free and it's waterproof. So, this is a good glue. I've been using this lately. It is a little bit more finicky. You have to have a clean and dry surface to use it. So, you know, I'm not super clean, but yeah. So the way I did this was, it does come with a solid tip, like a little tiny tip. So I just nipped off a real small amount, and then I used my tool and I poked the hole through it because I didn't want to clip down too far and then end up with a big blobby mess. So this can be used on photos, same with the Yes Paste. However, I never use glue to adhere a photo because with movement it will crack and then your photo might fall out. That's why I always use double-sided tape. So it's acid free and it's a little bit more money in the cost effect. Like that journal that I just finished, it took a whole roll of Sukwang, which is score tape to the Americans, which you guys know that's expensive tape. But if I'm, you know, putting a book together with my memories, I want it to last. So, you know, but it's still, when you consider glue and tape, yeah, it's glue is cheaper. Okay, next, Mod Podge also comes out with Dimensional Magic. Now that's similar to Glossy Accents, to Diamond Glaze. They're all kind of the same thing. They do the same thing. They are a glue. However, you can get dimension with them. So if you don't want to use like a foam dot because you don't like the look of the foam dot and how high it is, you can add a blob of one of these glues, let it dry, and then adhere whatever you're adhering down, like a butterfly or whatever. It will stand up because it will dry in a dome. So you can use it in that way. You can also use it, you know, to accent things on a page. Now the difference is, this is the Judykins Diamond Glaze. It's also water-based. I like this one a lot. I like the pour ratio on this one. It's not super fast, but it's not slow like Glossy Accents. So I do really like this one. Mod Podge I find too liquid. So if I want to fill something, that's fine. But you can actually, I don't know if that shows, but it's like really runny. So if you're trying to do fine work, I wouldn't recommend using this one. This one's the Crackle. I also have the Glossy Accents. I think they've changed the label. This is a newer bottle. This, once it's dried, will give a cracked effect. So it's great for, you know, aging things up. So once it's cracked, then you can rub over the top of it with a dark ink. It'll get into the little cracks, then it'll look kind of old. But again, it's still a glue. Same with the Glossy Accents. It's much thicker ratio. A lot of people have issues with the plugging. I did buy one of these fine tip applicators. I did put it in there and it dried. But this is the blue tip top one, which means the needle's super thin. I should have had, I think it's an orange top one. It's a wider needle, so I might have had better success. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I just know when I'm going to use it. I actually kept it. So if I take the top right off, I can actually squeeze it right out of the bottle, which is, you know, if I'm covering a bigger spot, I'll just use my finger, you know. So I'm not wasting it. I could actually put it back in the bottle, which would make more sense, wouldn't it? Okay, then you've got Mod Podge or Decoupage. They're the same thing, basically. I have a couple different kinds. This one's a matte. This one's a matte as well, but I find this one's has a little more sheen than this one. I got them both at Michael's. They're both quite inexpensive compared to decoupage, or sorry, Mod Podge. That's why I started going to the decoupage. And then I found that personally, I like these better than the Mod Podge. Now, if you have great success with Mod Podge, great. And Mod Podge comes in all different formulations. So depending on what you want to use it for, you know, if you want it super shiny, or one has glitter in it, and there's just tons of different kinds. In Canada, I haven't seen that many. I've, watched videos where they have tons of different kinds in the States. We don't. At least I don't. I haven't seen any. So I switched to this because generally I use it for book covers. And I'll adhere my paper down with it. So it's a really good glue. Yes, you can make your own, with white paste and thin it with water. And there is a video, just Google search, homemade Mod Podge, and you'll come up with different recipes for that. So the last one I want to show you is certainly not the only one, but this is a gloss medium. Now, with gel mediums, you can get gloss or not, or it comes in different formulations. I have one that's for, it's a gloss medium varnish. What else do I have? Well, I don't have anything handy, but they come in all different kinds of formulations and companies, and this one works fine. It's a glue. They're all glues. They will stick things down, but they're also some of them are sealers, and so there's different things for different projects. I have Aleene's also has a fabric fusion, so Fabri-Tac works great, on like trims and things like that. This really works great. This, I think, came out of like a sampler. A friend of mine actually gave it to me. It's expensive up here. Like a regular bottle, it's quite expensive. So I haven't actually taken the plunge. This is, I still have lots left, and I've, used it a few times. So, I won't actually buy it until I actually need it, but it is permanent. So once it's on there, it's on there. It's a very good glue. Then we're going to talk about E6000. Now, this glue is meant for non-porous items like tile, metal, any glass, anything like that. That's what this is meant for. It does have a bit of flexibility to it. It is toxic. Try not to get it on your fingers. If you do, wash them right away, because it is toxic glue. It stinks to high heaven. It comes in different colors. This one's black. I didn't realize I was buying black. I really wanted just a smaller bottle. This one, tube, I should say. This one has a really wide opening, so when I'm doing smaller items, I hate this because it's just globby and, gets everywhere. So I wanted, more of a controlled tip. Well, I didn't realize until I got home and opened it that it was black, but oh well. Anyways, it is a fantastic glue. Now, that's the only one I've had experience with. I hear Gorilla's glue is very, very good too. I haven't tried it myself. Another awesome thing from Aleene's is a pen. Small nib. Really great for tacking down little items. This is a really great invention. I love it. And finally, I have a Quickie Dry glue pen. Now, who's this by? I don't know. Pinpoint Roller? Don't know. Anyway, it's just like a roller ball tip. Comes out blue, dries clear. It's okay. Yeah, if you're wanting your item to be like super not gonna fall apart, I wouldn't recommend this. If you're doing card making or whatever, and you're giving cards, and darn well most people throw your cards away, then yeah, this is great. Smaller items, right? That's what it'll do, because it dries fast. So you can't do big areas with it, or by the time you're at one end, you've got to start again. So, yeah, but I have it and I'm sharing it. So those are my glues. If you have any questions and if I have the answer, I will, give it to you. I also wanted to show you my next project. So I was watching YouTube on, I want to take my rubber off my wooden blocks. My storage is getting out of control again with my wooden blocks and I need more room. So I thought, that's it. I'm going to take all of my rubber off my blocks and adhere them to foam. Now you can get, I'll show you, you can get this cling mount. And it's kind of an all-in-one thing. Once you've peeled this part off, this part is very sticky, then this part will stick to your block and you can reuse it over and over again. It isn't cheap. I mean, this one sheet cost me $6. So yeah, it's not cheap. So I was watching the Frugal Crafter and she was using Fun Foam. So I just went to the dollar store and picked up some inexpensive Fun Foam. You get tons in the kit. Yes, it's a lot thinner, but it does the same thing. It does the same job. You just want a bit of a cushion when you're stamping. So this is plenty. Now I did an experiment and I pulled one apart. Now where did I put it? Here it is. This is a Tim Holtz. Now I was thinking to myself, I do love the idea of putting them onto foam, but I hate that you don't have the picture on the other side of the foam. So I stamped this out on paper and I glued it to the back. Well, you can see it's no longer there. Because what I had done was I had taken some scrap film just from packaging, this, like this stuff, right? I stamped out the image on paper. I glued the paper to the foam. And then I glued, using glossy accents, I glued the film over top because once that was dry, I'm going to use the tack it over and over and just put it on the top of the film. And then I'll have, one that will stick to the block. Well, I glued the foam and the rubber together using Aleene's tacky glue and it worked great. I can't get it off. It worked great. The glossy accents did not. Didn't like the foam. It didn't dry and I left it 24 hours and it just disintegrated. So I thought, okay, well, that bugs me. What am I going to do next? This is what I did. I stamped right on the foam using the archival ink. So this will not rub off. It won't, once it gets wet, it won't move. So my next plan is to remove the rubber from the block. Now I have to say, this was a Tim Holtz. I think I said that. The foam was gray, I believe. I could not get that off with the heat gun without ripping the foam, which is why I had to put the Fun Foam on there. If you can manage to get the foam up with it, then you don't need the Fun Foam. I couldn't on this one. It just destroyed it. So some are going to be easier than others. Now, I've seen it with the heat gun, which is what I'm using because I'm lazy. I have heard people use the microwave for, a few seconds. You warm it up and then, you can pry it off. So I'm going to go ahead. I did get it started for you. And so I'm just using my heat gun and being careful because I don't want to burn my fingers. But you just pry it off. So there's my rubber. And you know, I could have just taken this part off because I did stamp this out. I want a picture on the other side so that I can see when they're stored what it is, or when I'm placing it down on my paper, right? Now, this is going to be the interesting part, is trying to line this picture up with this. Now, I'm wondering, should I maybe just take that foam right off? I don't know if I can get it off, though. It's on there pretty darn good. Gee, I wish I knew what they applied that with. Yeah, that's not coming off. So, I think I will stick it on there. It's not very thick. It would still store. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, let's cut some of it away. Okay. I have no idea what I'd use this for again, but gee, I wonder if I could get that part off. I don't want to use my heat gun because that would melt it. Wonder. It's a penny black stamp. I love penny black stuff. Gee, this might work. Maybe. Let's see. Okay. Whew, that's sticky. Probably gonna run out of time here, you guys, but I'm determined now. Here we go! Woohoo! I did it! Oops. Oh man, that's stuck right to my hand. Okay, so I might not need that. Now. I don't know that it would actually stay stuck on here. Let's do it maybe this way. At least that's close enough anyway. Now if that stays on there, when I get my tack it over and over glue, I'll just smear that on there. And then it'll stick to my block. I don't know why that's kind of warpy. I'll play with it anyway. So I'm just going to cut that away. And it's close enough, right? You know, at least you know what it is. And yeah, that might just work. So that's my next project when I get where I need a break from other things. So this is what I'll use if I destroy the foam. I will stamp on some foam and then reglue it, and then at least I have, you know, something to look at. Now I believe Lindsay used the tacket right on the foam. I don't think she put anything else on top of the foam. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to experiment and, you know, see what I can see. Same with this. Like this has got some sort, well, this is what I have, what I own. And, but see, I mean, I don't like not having a picture on that side. I want a picture on that side. So Yeah, this one didn't stick very well. It's got double-sided tape there. So that's my my Let's Play time. I hope this is useful to those starting out and wondering what kind of glue to buy for themselves. So thanks for watching and have a great week. Bye.